flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to honor all the veterans today in our community and in the rest of the state and the United States.
And Marine Corps birthday yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Okay. I did call, Dennis Manley to see if he wanted to be here by phone. He's in the Philippines. He didn't figure reception would be real good, so we kind of bypassed that one. Roll call, Penny? Russ?
Here.
Gary?
Here.
Gary?
Here.
Debbie? Here. There will be visitors tonight, public comment. Yes, sir.
So it is my belief that the board wants to be transparent and open to the public. And to aid in that, I'm requesting that the town clerk post agendas on the website or maintain an email list for all meeting notices to be distributed to. I understand that the website in its current state might not be an easy place to upload documents. I'm willing to buy a domain name, perhaps something like mcmillan.town, and host the files on my Google Drive and then make them publicly available if the clerk will send me all the meeting notices. Otherwise, I expect that the clerk has access to the agendas for the town meetings. So if she were to maintain an email list, she could just simply forward that email on to the list of people.
The problem we have is not everybody has a computer. Seriously.
I'm aware, but
Okay.
some people do, and I think that it would be, you know, not everyone goes to the Belvedere or this and that, or the town hall. So I think that sending out meeting notices electronically would not prohibit people from finding out about it. It would give more people the ability to find out
Are you
about it.
a township list? Is that what you're looking at?
I'm sorry?
A township list for emails?
No, I'm requesting that the clerk maintain a list of interested parties that want to receive this notification by email or post it on the website. I think that it would benefit the townspeople by providing even greater access to public notices, especially for townspeople that do not have transportation to visit the current meeting posting places or if there's inclement weather.
Okay. But,
It was on the Macmillan News today, anyway. I don't know, was up there Friday. You usually send it to Bruce Group?
It was up there Sunday.
Because I think if there's a interconnection with yours or ours and theirs, whichever.
no, there's no connection.
No, but it was up on Sunday. My technical person was ill, so we didn't get it up on Friday.
How would we determine who the interested parties are? You said that someone has to declare they want to get this.
But there's laws that go with that.
Yeah.
What kind of laws go with that?
Patty, you want to explain that one?
There's, to maintain an email list, there's laws specific to that. I don't know a site, I don't know a number, but if you look up under the federal communication law, it's in there as far as maintaining and operating an email list.
I find it hard to believe.
Okay.
How many other places maintain email lists for newsletters and stuff like that?
And every one of them has to comply with that law.
Well, wouldn't the town be willing to comply with that law? I don't know why you would restrict people from accessing this information.
Nobody's restricted anybody from anything, as far as that goes. This is just a
If
request
somebody
that you're
doesn't, if
putting
somebody
in.
doesn't have transportation to get to one of these public meeting places that have the notices posted, then you're restricting them from obtaining this information.
But we haven't had a request for that.
I'm
For
requesting
that.
it. I'm requesting it right now. I just was up
You're the one
there.
that sets the agenda for the We do have it on, it's on our website, am I correct, Patty?
I sent it to John for posting.
Okay, so we do put it on our website. And we do post it in 3 places as we are required to do.
Okay.
So if somebody would request it, we'd have to look into it to, you know, that is disabled or whatever, we could do that. Okay, let's go to the,
She usually try and get it on there on Friday or whenever you post it. You try and put it on our website also?
I
gets it.
said, when I post the agenda, it's emailed to John, who uploads it to the agenda, or to the website. I don't upload it.
Oh, okay.
All right, approval of town board minutes, or was there anybody else that wanted to say anything? All right. Approval of town board minutes for October 14th, 2019. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second. I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I,
Next item. Plan commission, Dorothy.
Okay, we had our planning commission meeting October 28th. We introduced a potential new member to the board, which I'm hoping that approval gets tonight. We had
That was
a
who?
discussion on the Jeff
What was her
Radetsky,
name again?
Carla Manigal.
I don't remember.
Had a discussion on Jeff Radetsky and Thomas Elkmeyer for some storage units, which would be on the triangle off from Mann, and we did pass that at our level. Now it goes in front of the town board. We discussed, there was a memo from the county about notifying adjacent landowners when there's a rezone. And at our level, it makes more sense to put it to the town board, because the town board is the step before the county board. We encourage anybody who is going to do a land rezone or anything, please come to the town plan commission meeting so that we can address this face to face, so we know what's happening. We know we have to update our
Come on, spit it out.
yeah,
Comprehensive plan?
comprehensive plan. It's way out of date. It's supposed to be renewed every 10 years. Some parts of it are supposed to be done yearly. This has been not done since 2005 and 2014, so we're overdue. So we kind of put it to the plan commission that we're all going to start trying to get some of this caught up. Big task, but I think we're ready for it.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Okay. Todd?
Since the last board met, when I made this report out on Thursday, we had 3 EMS calls, 2 motor vehicle accidents for that month. Our new hires, our full members, Chris Draper was voted on as a full member. His years of probation is up. As far as other things on the department, we participated in the Get Fired Up event. That was 2 weeks ago Sunday. That's the one at Festival Parking Lot and House of Heating and that stuff in that area there. There's 16 departments that partake in that event, and we ended up pulling, getting Fire Department of the Year, and that is determined by the people that attend who receives that honor. So, as far as training goes, this next month we're going to be training on firefighter knots. They're the knots used for raising axes and things to the roof and securing objects. As far as EMS goes, the group's biannual skill refresher that'll be scheduled for set in your reports on January. It's actually going to be February. We do that through MT or through Midstate, so they decided that February would be better than January, so they changed their date. Carly, Brittany, and Brooke are credentialed as students with the department If there is 2 EMTs that are showing up on an EMS call, they're allowed to use their skills then and count that towards their training. If there's not, then they're not allowed to, and they can only operate then as a firefighter, because they don't have their state license yet, they just have their learner's permit. And we're currently working with NTC to try to get to be an approved training center. That would be for the other people, other than just our firefighters could also take advantage of that.
So they would have basically like the schooling here?
Well, what it would more or less be is if we have calls and runs and stuff like that, that they would be able to take part in the runs with us. It'd also mean that they'd have to spend time at the station, obviously with one of us there, teaching them and showing them the ropes of being on an EMS department over there.
Is there a fee for any of that, or?
There's no fee for us on any of that, and I'll be talking with our insurance agent, as long as I get the okay here, to make sure that what the school has in place and the state has in place, that we're not taking on any added liabilities.
Right.
Because it says it's all the insurance, everything's supposed to be covered underneath in their tuition to the school. And it would be an individual basis type deal. We would look at the individual. It isn't clear cut. They're just sending us people we would have a chance to look at, make sure that they're qualified and a good fit for the department for while they're doing it.
You had an election last month?
Yes.
That
All
has
of
to be
the-
brought to the board too to be approved.
Yes, all of the positions were uncontested, so
Okay,
the
so they're
officers
all
will be staying the same, yes.
Okay, so we need that on the agenda for next month then.
Okay,
And then also, I got a question for you with the insurance claim. Did you give me any numbers yet?
not yet. I'm trying to find somebody that works on the 3 so that I can get them to come in with the 3 instead of,
You gotta get it done because I got an insurance call from the insurance company today.
okay,
So,
okay,
this week,
all right.
before Friday.
I think I can do that.
Okay.
I'll get at least a call into somebody to call.
Okay, yeah, because if we give them 2 numbers, a repair or replace, you know,
Yep,
we do have replacement. So anything you do over there after that pump, it's covered because you got $1,000 deductible over there, so it definitely makes sense to get that taken care of.
correct.
Is that for the lightning strike?
Yeah.
Well, it was a power surge is what it was, yeah. And it knocked out the pump in the well
Pump in the well, a freezer,
and the ice
ice
machine.
machine, and the ice cream machine.
And the ice cream machine too, okay. So either get them fixed or get them replaced because there's no sense leaving that out there.
Okay.
Any questions for Rod? Easy or not easy? John? Finance committee.
So the finance committee met on Monday, November 4th. We had a quorum, we had 2 agenda items. One was the discussion of disrepair of Shorter Creek Road. It was suggested, but there was no motion, that the town board explore creating some sort of road committee to handle like road issues or come up with a list of most necessary roads to repair. The other item on our agenda was to review and discuss the preliminary 2020 budget. That took up the majority of our time. The only motion that came out of that was recommendation for the town board to complete a fire department analysis to be done by either committee or by contract. And that was the end of our meeting. One other thing I wanted to note is that the finance committee has been meeting monthly since May 2019. We have made numerous recommendations to the town board during this time. However, none of our recommendations have been put onto the board agenda for discussion or vote. Is there something that we should be doing differently to best utilize the time and effort of the finance committee?
You are being heard, definitely, okay, but sometimes, like, you had made a recommendation to take the $3,500 out of their Fall Fest funds for the truck that was sold. At this time, we don't need to, okay? Also for the check to redo that, so far the fire department's been absorbing, so we haven't had to do that, okay? So until we get to the point, we are definitely hearing you, okay? We just haven't had to do anything with it at this point.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Any questions for John? All right, library. Lori, the one that we've always been working for, is retiring April 24th of this next year, so we will be end up working with somebody else, and I don't have a clue who that's gonna be at this point. Garbage and recycling, I haven't had anything. Gary, you got highway.
Well, they got Gilead done. Paul's gonna try and get it shouldered this week. American Asphalt's not doing any more asphalt, so the two culverts we had replaced right now are gravel, but I did get hold of Solutions who did the patchwork out here when they put in the concrete, and he will be able to get those two blacked up sometime this week.
You know what they're gonna cost at all?
He figured close to 3,000, which I thought was a little high, but I really don't know. But I know Pat plowed the other day, you know, because the gravel sunk in
Yeah, we had a complaint.
driving, you know, he had it with the plow. So I'd like to, and so then I called Paul and told him don't bother with them other two culverts on Montgomery or Van this year, because I don't want them taken out and not having blacktop on there through the winter.
We had a complaint over at, what is it, Red Hawk? Had put a culvert in there or
Red
something.
Ruby
Or Red Ruby, whatever it is.
Yep.
And, she said it was really bad, so I had called Pat and told him to take a look at it.
Because between it sinking and, you know, vehicles driving over it, the gravel's getting washed out, but hopefully that will get done this week.
Is that it?
Yep.
Buildings and grounds, let's see, we have the insurance claim for picnic tables. Here's our invoice for the table pad. This is what we're looking at. Basically the same thing we had. The cost on them is $730 a piece, plus shipping and handling and everything else, and it comes to a little over $2,000. And that we have a $1,000 deductible. So, what do you want to do there?
We had
Two
two
of
of
them
them
stolen.
stolen.
Yep.
I would assume that usually when people use it, they're all used.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're shy of picnic tables right now, so. When they have the, you know, when it's rented, you need them. Well, they get used outside. And we have insurance, so I say replace them.
Well, yeah.
Do we have security cameras to
No.
watch? Or knowledge of anything we can do to prevent theft?
We can mark the tables, hopefully, because I had to get a police report for the ones that were stolen. But other than that, if they take them home and sand them down, or, you know, once you do mark them.
GPS tracker.
Yeah.
And I mean, those things are heavy.
Yeah, these weigh, I think, 410 pounds.
So there were some pretty big boys who took them.
But they ended up walking off with two, so. I think as long as we got insurance, and we'll get them replaced and move on from there, so. But here's a picture of them, and here's the specs on them if you wanted to look at it. I mean, they're basically exactly what we had before, the yellow pine with the whatever, so. But shipping, I think, is over 300. Of course, you start looking at that much weight, it's gonna make a difference, so. Comes into right around the $2,000 mark.
They
just a
come
hair
on,
over.
they come on assembled, they have to be assembled.
Well, of course, they have to be put together, so it'll give you something to do on a Sunday afternoon.
Not this winter.
Well, if we had heat up there, it'd be one thing, but, okay, Patty, your turn.
So there were 3 notices of zoning permit issued by the county. The county is reviewing, CPZ is reviewing chapter 18 and 21. As far as I understand, they do this just about every year. The Environmental Resource Committee sent their minutes and deadline for any applications for next year. There's a public hearing notice for a rezone that's already been reviewed and approved by the town. We got the tri-committee agenda and the September minutes, the LRIP application deadline reminder. The blue book is out, published online. If anybody wants a hard copy, we can only get one. Got a mercury reduction.
Do they charge for that? That
Not
book?
for the first copy.
Okay.
And what
We got-
is that for?
That Wisconsin Blue Book, it's just
I-
like a history book.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I got the email and looked at it.
It's-
I'd never heard of it.
Mhm. If there's other copies in the office, but they're getting away from printing, so they do it online and then send you a notice, but if you're eligible to get one copy of it. Got a notice from General Code, they're upping their service fees as of March of 2020. And Marathon County DevCo sent you a membership solicitation. The budget notice was posted for the budget hearing on November 18th at 6 p.m. And then it'll be published as a courtesy in the Marshfield News Herald on November 12th, and that's gonna cost you $167.05. We got approved for the WEC grant, which is the election grant. At this point, it's an ACH payment. We got a notice that said the payment was coming. I don't know if it's there yet. Steve didn't get a chance to check in and see if that was ACH, but we have until January 20th, January 28th for the compliance deadline for that grant, and that's part of the reason that you have a evacuation and planned on the agenda tonight. So by January 28th, we not only have to have that done, gotta do the security training, update the training for the election workers, do a tabletop exercise, and install a new end user program that the state has for security. And I'm not gonna get into the MLS grant because that's on the agenda.
Anything else?
No, I'm done.
I have a question about building. I got a call Sunday. Can they do it over the phone or however in Marathon County when they need a building permit, or they have to go there in person?
I think they have to go in person because you have to sign the application and pay the fee before they'll issue the permit.
You can do it online, okay?
Can you?
Yes.
Is that how you did yours?
I went and did mine in person, but
You can do it by line?
you can do it online.
Okay, now we know.
There you go.
Well, this guy
I'm
asked,
guessing
I
credit
said,
card type
as
thing.
far as I know, you gotta go over there. I said, but now with, they got a lot of stuff you can do online with signatures and everything.
The only
So
thing is, I would
I-
guess.
Yeah.
that
I says
would
call over and
become an
find out.
issue
Yeah, I didn't know that.
If, for the setbacks and everything. I'm guessing they would request you to come up there.
Well, they have a packet,
Mhm.
and he emailed me the packet. He says, well, you can fill it out and then email it back and
Okay,
then
so
sign,
then,
and sign it, and then,
Mhm.
with the payment, and then he said that'd be fine, otherwise you can come up and do that.
we have instances in this township where we'd like to build this weekend and it's Saturday.
Well, that's exactly what it was.
It was a
No, that's not
garage.
happening.
Uh-huh, yeah, because he says, well, I'd like to start it this weekend, and I said, I wouldn't advise that because, you could end up with a penalty out of that for not having a building permit. And he said, well, a supervisor told me I could start on it. And I said, well, if that supervisor told them that supervisor's wrong, because you're supposed to have a building permit first.
I says, it's up to you. I says,
Then,
he
so
said,
you
well,
were that
it sounds
supervisor.
like.
Yeah, there you go, that's how you
Well,
think.
it sounds like there must have been a building there. The slab is there yet.
Oh, he didn't tell me that, he just said he wanted to.
And I
start
says,
building.
so you're doing reconstruction? He said it's on an old slab.
Mm,
So I assumed something else was on it, but I said you should have it.
mhm. Yeah, you gotta have a building permit. I didn't know you could do it by line though, that's news. So, okay, Steve?
Cash reconciled at the end of the month, $358,142.98. And I also published a proposed hours for tax collection season.
This is what he wants to do for taxes. Those hours, which gives you a couple of evenings and a couple of Saturdays, am I correct?
One Saturday.
One Saturday. Want to see it? Any questions for Steve? Need a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Also moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Patty, checks to approve.
Checklist is for check number 16755 to 16783 with electronic fund transfers 2019-12-2, 14, 15, 16, and 17 for a total of $74,031.39. Also need to approve a check so Steve can purchase stamps for the upcoming tax season. We're estimating at this point about 800 stamps of $440. And as long as we're going to pursue the picnic tables, we need a check to purchase those as well.
How many stamps did you say, Patty? 800?
800, so that's $440.
I have a question, well, not for you, but for the board, on check number 16769 for the attorneys. I would like to know if you'd like me to dispute that one, because he had responded to the previous clerk in issues that she sent him, and he was not directed to do so. Because he had asked me specifically when I was up there if he should take care of any correspondence, and I said absolutely not. So,
So this came in after you told him?
yep,
I did see the, you know, the
yep.
thing we got that had to do with the former clerk, and I didn't know if that was something that,
She
But
took it
Bill-
upon herself to send him a letter and correspondence, and he was not wasn't supposed to do anything with it. I told him absolutely not, not without board approval, so how do you want to handle that one?
I guess my feeling is if you told him not to respond to her with anything, that should be on his own.
That was kind of my thought on it. You want me to dispute it? I'll take that one off of there for now.
Is it just a verbal communication, nothing in writing?
It was emailed.
Oh, it's in writing. I'd say dispute.
Yeah, can attempt to anyway.
It would have been more in the email, it's
No,
$80, it's $200 an hour.
Yeah, but you get charged for 20 minutes minimum, am I correct, Patty?
We got a minimum charge.
He's got .20 on September 2nd and another .20 on September 3rd.
What I was asking was when you told him not to do anything with it, was it just a verbal thing?
That was a verbal, I was sitting in his office.
That's what I was talking
Okay.
about, not,
Oh,
But he had asked me specifically, and I told him, under no circumstances, so. I mean, I can call him and holler, I'm not gonna have a problem with it. Guys, any questions other than that?
nope.
Employers Mutual was our workers' comp, am I correct, Patty?
Yes.
Need a motion to approve?
is that all, is that including the $80 check or what?
That's the whole $80, isn't it?
That doesn't, the total in the checklist that I gave includes the $80, yes.
Yeah,
All right, and you will just look into it.
yeah, try to get it, we're not gonna bail it out tomorrow.
All right.
Okay, we'll try to dispute
I
it.
would assume to approve this.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye?
I-
Motion. There were 4 ayes, so I don't have to ask. And then we need a motion to approve Patty's financial report. So she gives it to us?
Well, you want me to read it?
No, you don't have to read it. I just need a motion to approve the financial report.
Well, what else, because we're back in front of here.
Yeah.
Yes, I so moved.
Any second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye?
Hey,
Opposed? Nobody. Okay, motion carried. Okay, now, the highway grant, the MLS, the revisit, I had talked to you, Gary, at highway committee meeting for that percentage. There is no amount that you can put in there that you'd be willing to pick up. It's just a checkbox that you would be willing, the town would be willing to pick up a bigger percentage than the 10%, which means we could get stuck with one huge amount.
Also, you thought it was 90-10 or 80-20,
Well, it's
but it
90-10
could be,
right
it
now.
could be anything.
Yeah, because there's no place to put an amount in there for percentage, is there, Patty? No. It's just a checkbox if you'd be willing to pick up more of a percentage, the town, to do that, but there's no
No set amount.
rate. So
Just a checkbox that says yes or no, the MLS provides 90% state with a minimum of 10% local. We anticipate the award process to be very competitive with the project sponsor, except a lower cost share to obtain funding. All you get to do is say yes or no.
could end up with 50% of the bill, easy.
That's a slippery slope in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Was there any, like, past ones where they've done this, where there's a track
No,
record?
this is
of what they-
brand new.
This
Just
is
another
this
one
is brand new
shot.
and a one-shot deal, so,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no track record. I mean, I would assume that, you know, there'd be enough people applying that these funds would all be used up and there wouldn't be anything left.
There's gonna be way more grants than there are available funding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be anything left to go on any other percentage. I wouldn't wanna stick my head in a noose, I guess, but
Well, that's kind of my thought. It would be, we'll pick up the 10%, but we aren't going for any more than that. That's just my thought. So, oh, yes,
Have you
John?
reached out to the granting agency to get some clarification on that? I would imagine that that means that you would be willing to accept 90-10 and you would be willing to potentially accept less than 90-10. But that, if you say yes, they're not gonna say, oh, okay, we're gonna fund it at 80-20, so give us 20%. You would still have to agree to it and sign a contract. I don't think that submitting a grant is agreeing to a contract. So
I don't think I
that
wanna,
I would encourage the board to seek some clarification from the granting agency.
We ain't gonna have time, we really aren't, because that has to be in what, 3 weeks?
December 6th.
Yeah. So getting clarification and getting it in writing to make sure that we're not gonna hang ourselves, I think we'll go for what they proposed, 90-10. So we got, did you ever find me an engineer?
Thought you said you found one.
No, I never said that, I told you to find me one. But anyway, do we need a motion on that one at all, Patty, or we're just gonna, the grants application's already been approved, so we don't have to. The highway traffic counter, I know Gary, you wanna put it on the budget. Okay, we need to spend some money, how are we gonna do that? We got late on the roads because our bids didn't get put out. We need to spend some money, it's only a couple $1,000s.
Well, I
I'm
don't.
gonna put you between the rock and the hard spot.
I know we need it,
Mhm.
you know, and there,
We could be using it this week.
Because we're gonna need to put them out on, I mean, I know they won't happen that quick.
Pat's got them
We
counters
need-
out already, but
Right,
we need all
we needed,
3
we moved them,
roads.
but we already needed to move, once they're done on Galvin here, we need to move them over to Stod.
Mhm.
And because of the entrances in the Stod, if we had 1 or 2 more counters,
Mhm.
that would allow us to do another road so that when traffic travels through, we know which way they're going through,
The one I
which
really
helps you
wanted,
out for,
the one I would really like to have counted, and I don't think we're gonna have enough time, is St. Joe's. To see what's coming in off of Man, because then you got a true count on what's really on that road.
correct, but that needs to be done at the same time that you're doing.
The
So
other
you would have
two.
needed to do that one, you would
Yeah.
have needed 3 counters, not the 2 that we had.
Yeah.
Because just because you get 2 modern ones doesn't mean we can't use them with the older
Yeah.
ones
Mm-hmm.
to help us get our numbers and better pictures.
So what do you need here? You need someone to be willing to, make a motion to spend $2,000 on new counters, which
You actually don't, it's an expense for the highway. We don't have to have it even on the agenda. It's pretty much up to Gary to just take the step and buy it.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
asking, because it's a piece of equipment you need it.
right, and what my problem was, it was turned down previously at a board meeting. And I've already seen what happens when you don't get your way at one meeting and you come back again.
But you gotta keep in mind at that meeting, if there were 4 people.
Yes.
There were 2 for, 2 against, so it was not a full board
And
either.
I feel it's something we needed. Well, then when they come in with, you need approval for purchases over such and such a dollar amount, and that's where I was coming from.
Right. But
And that's why I wanted to bring it to the board. I don't have a problem with buying it, I think we need it.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I'm gonna make a motion to buy it.
I'll second it.
Okay, because it's a piece of equipment between 2,000 and 2,500 is what the quote we got, and I think we need it and get it done.
We're not gonna get the work done properly for the roads without the information, you need
Right.
information.
And this one will tell you what kind of traffic you actually have on that road. So I think it's a good call.
I do too.
So we'll do a roll call vote on that one, Patty. Russ?
Aye.
Gary?
I,
Gary? Debbie? Aye. Okay, appointment to the Plan Commission. I'd like to appoint Carla Manigal. So I need the board to approve that one. Need a motion on that? To approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Well, second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Nobody opposed for the appointment to the Joint Plan Commission? I talked to Larry Seaver because Steve had resigned, so he's gonna take, I'd like to appoint Larry Seaver to take that position. So I need a motion for that one.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second that.
all in favor? Aye.
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 Did you speak, Gary? Opposed?
I-
Okay.
I'm actually
Radetsky-
surprised that,
Huh?
I'm actually surprised that he would volunteer to do that.
It took a little sweet
'Cause he-
talking.
yeah, he sort of-
So he's gonna be on our joint plan commission. Okay,
And I think he'd be a good guy.
so do I. I think Larry is very realistic. Radetsky Ethmeyer rezone is recommended by the plan commission to approve. Is there anybody here that was in that rezone? Nobody? Okay.
So he's been to the planning commission
It's been to the plan commission, the plan commission
Yeah.
has approved it,
Right.
so.
Nothing different than what Joe was at.
Right, and then they'll have a public hearing up at the county's level, so.
So there's a public hearing up there, so.
Yes.
So there was no opposition here at this level yet?
No, they, anytime there's a rezone, the county always has a public hearing,
Mm-hmm.
so.
They wanna put storage
Yeah,
units
yeah,
in.
I saw that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's an odd item. Good.
Here, next we turn back. Triangle.
I don't know. It's all the same as it is any other time. I got it. We got the resolution everybody has to sign.
Need to see this.
And I can start reading the questions while you're looking. As the applicant provided that public facilities and or services currently serve the proposed development, what additional services may be required and how the additional services may be provided. That would be a yes. As the applicant demonstrated how the provision of the public facilities will not be unreasonable burden to the local government, that would be a yes. Most of these are. As the applicant determined that the land is suitable for development proposed, yes. I'm asking Dorothy because evidently they went through all of this already. Has the applicant demonstrated what will have to be done so the development will not cause unreasonable air and water pollution, soil erosion, or adverse effects on rare or irreplaceable natural areas? Yes. Is there any potential for conflict with existing land uses in the area? No. Next page. Has the applicant demonstrated the need for the proposed development in this location? Yes. Has the applicant demonstrated the availability of alternative locations? No. Is cropland being consumed in this zone change? Has the applicant explained how the proposed development will be located to minimize the amount of agricultural land converted?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay. Is proposed rezone request consistent with the town's adopted comprehensive plan?
Which year?
Is
It
the
is an
rezone-
it is an industrial area.
Okay. The question is the proposed rezone request consistent with the town's adopted comprehensive plan?
Yes.
Okay. We're not adding to it, we're just answering the question. Is there anything else the town wishes to present or comment on regarding this application to the Marathon County Environmental Resources Committee? Now, does anybody have any questions about the rezone? Any stipulations you want to put in, anything? Then we need a motion to approve, or
I'll make that motion.
in a second.
I'll make a second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay, aye.
And we have approved. They sign under my name. We don't have to have them come back in and sign it later, right, Ken? That's the plan. The resolution you got to sign, so we can send that in. Mhm. There's somebody here. Because Larry's not here, is he? And neither is Carla. No, we will just agree that we think so. All right. Next item. Election Day Emergency Response Contingency Plan, Patty.
So, like I said before, this is a requirement of the grant that we're getting. We have to be compliant by January 28, 2020. The WEC gave us a template to use, and all I did from that template was change everything to say Town of McMillan. So it includes a response plan, emergency procedures for terrorism, active shooters, acts of violence, threats, bombs, suspicious packages, severe weather and electrical outages, and medical emergencies. In a nutshell, it says if we have to close down and we're required to move the election, we'll go to the garage, because that's got a secure area that the clerk can access just off of that. And when we can move back here, we move back here.
So you need a motion to approve?
Yes.
I'll make that motion. So we need a second.
How does that address electricity outage? Or is there nothing, I mean, is there
If there's an
nothing you can do?
electrical outage, the machine will go, it's supposed to go and reserve its memory and all of the data 3 to 4 hours. And if the electrical outage goes longer than that, then I'm gonna steal a generator from across the road.
Going to borrow.
We're gonna steal it.
Position maybe? I don't like the word steal.
Well, because
we're gonna
our
give it to the
emergency plan is the same plan. So
You're gonna give it back, so it's borrowing.
it's only gonna be,
You have what, 3,
I got 2 portables, yes.
2 portables, but you
I
think.
got 2 more on rigs, I
Yeah,
mean,
so
we're covered.
we'd be good.
and when Rob and I talked about going to the fire department, the problem is that the fire department is their domain. I don't have any way to secure that voting machine, and I need to maintain security on that voting machine. When it's in the garage, I can put it in the vault if we're ordered to move, and I can secure that. So that's why I said the alternate location is the garage and not going across the street to the fire department.
You have marshal power, you don't lose power like us.
Oh, there's the kiss of death.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a template. If you read the template, it says to have your election workers take down an active shooter if it's safe for them to do that. So it's just a template, it's what they require. Will you change it? Maybe. But at this point, that's what the election commission gave me, and that's what we went with.
Here's the plan, if you wanna read the whole thing. Nobody really wants to look at it, that's why I told her to summarize it. And we have to sign this, but I've got a motion on the table to accept it, so I need to have a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor? We already had discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I,
Opposed? We're good. And we all need to sign this. Above your name. And the ambulance contract is next.
If, once Patty gets a chance, if she could get a copy of that for fire department.
Ambulance
So we can have
contract?
it in a binder,
Ambulance or emergency?
the emergency one.
So you know what the plan is?
Yes.
Attack the shooter when it's safe to do so, then call 911.
her and I had talked about it, and we decided if somebody comes in as an active shooter, we'll probably pick somebody we don't like to call 911, because that'd probably be the first person to be shot.
That's what I told her. I said, there's no place to hide to dial 911.
You're out there, that could be an issue. Okay, thank you. I'm not reading this correctly. It says the municipality shall pay to the city for the ambulance service to be performed under the terms hereof, the sum of $59,102, $29,551 in 2 equal installments due February 15th and August 15th respectively. That's the dollar amount, $59,102 for the ambulance contract.
Go up.
It always goes up. Must have went up, what, approximately 5%? Would be my guess. Thought it was around 55 or 56 last year, something like that. I think they had given us a schedule, wasn't it, a few years ago, Dave? With approximate 5% increase per year. Am I gonna look at it?
2019 was 56,526.
So I went up approximately. Okay. 2,500. That's what I just said. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. You just need my signature on this pad? Yep. All right.
No, yes, Patty, a copy of that also.
All right, policy and procedure manual. I had went and talked to the attorney, what was it, a month ago, 2 months ago, whatever it was. He looked it all over, the policies and procedures manual, and said we should be eliminating that it is not really good for the town. So, I don't know if you guys had ever really looked at your policy and procedures manual, but it was put in place in 1999. So it's old, it's outdated, and he said to eliminate it. I said, what's the process? He says, you make a motion and you eliminate the policies and procedures manual. So, what would you like to do?
So what is the policy procedure manual replaced with?
We're looking at the next item.
All right.
Is the employee handbook.
So what he's saying is what we have currently is out of date and we need something to replace it that's more accurate.
Yes.
Yeah, I looked through, you gave us one.
I sent you a sample.
No, our old one here a while ago, and yeah, I mean, there's stuff in there that, I mean, like, you can tell them about their hair color and stuff like that, where you, I mean, there's stuff in there that you can't do anymore.
Right. Yep.
Make sure you can.
Well, anything that was done in 1999 is incredibly out of date. So I would move that we
Eliminate. Okay. I'll second that motion. Any more discussion on that? Roll call on that one, Patty? Russ?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Jerry? Aye. The employee handbook, I gave you guys it's a sample, okay? I would recommend to adopt that one and just change the title to McMillan instead of City of Wausau. Is there anything in there that you guys looked at that you didn't agree with, or you would want changed, or?
No, it's more, it has more generalizations, or it has enough generalizations that I think you can adopt it.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, easily. It's not something that's Looks like it was made strictly for the city of Wausau.
No, pretty general.
Yeah, but there are parts in there I didn't like. Like the number of weeks of vacation,
Yeah.
the percentage of the health insurance.
Mhm. But what you have to keep in mind is, it's if you offer health insurance, okay? You don't have to. And we could take that completely out of there if you wanted to.
I mean, as far as, you know, the basics in that, but
Mhm.
I think there's some things in there that's set up for like a city and not a
Mhm.
town.
Oh, yeah, there's-
It, you know, it needs to be fine tuned.
Right. So we're gonna give you that assignment.
I make a recommendation, we give it over to the finance committee to review,
Okay,
see what their,
and put
you know,
on that is,
what they can glean out of it and give us some direction,
okay,
so that we have more eyes looking at it than just
just
the
us,
four of us.
yeah.
That's a good idea, and we could also, if it comes back and we decide to go with it, say that we're using it as a guideline, as a
Mhm.
template, not necessarily adopting it in stone,
Right,
and in case we miss something and get caught up. I looked at it, I've read this thing 2 or 3 times, and yeah, Gary's right, it does a few things in it that, you know, look like it was written for the city of Warsaw. There are a lot of things in it that are good.
mhm. Yeah, there are.
And so.
John, I will email that to you,
Very good.
okay? And then you can, I think it's what, about 35 pages?
It's hard.
Yeah,
Can you also
44,
email
I
me
think.
a list of employees that are covered by this, so that we?
we got one,
So it's only for Pat?
full-time employees. I mean, it'd be, the list of employees, we have 3.
Part-time,
Well, we have
part-timers would be also.
I would
Yeah.
expect that it would cover all people.
aspects, yeah, I was thinking
Payroll.
one full-time.
It does, it defines everything.
Yeah, there's
It's
just-
just-
I mean, it says regular part-time and
Mhm.
seasonal part-time, I mean, this thing is
So I'll
like.
need a list of all your fire department members. Or how many.
Well, I mean, you know, if you wanna tell me like the fire department people, like, I don't know if the town supervisors and chairmen are included in
We're
this?
not employees, we're elected,
Okay,
so we are not considered employees.
okay.
Can I get a copy of that?
Sure, I'll send it to you too. Yeah, it's about 38 pages, so,
44, I think
or
it was.
44, I'm sorry. I looked at about 4 or 5 of them, so,
I read,
It's a good
I don't
idea.
know why, but I read it all.
Fire department, go through it and see what,
Because I want to make sure
How it
it
affects
doesn't
you.
go against
How it affects
anything that
you
we've
guys.
already got.
oh hell, you guys are always going against everything we got, so.
He wants to know if there's enough in there for them to go against.
That's about it, yeah. But yeah, I'll forward it to both of you, and then you guys can take it to the fire department meeting and kind of go iron it out, what you agree
Their
with, what you
meetings
don't
don't
agree
take
with.
that long.
It's a process.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I looked over it over several nights.
It is, it's
An hour or so here, an
so
hour.
you should have read the one that the county had. You
if
know,
it's
that-
been outdated that long, that a few more months is not gonna.
Exactly. Okay, we are going to be working on this town capital improvement plan tonight. Patty and I went and redid some of the numbers because we had gotten different numbers from the county. And when we were going through the old CIP plan, it gave you dollar amounts in there that you needed to add on to the engineering fees, the administration fees, and what was the other fee, Patty? There was engineering, administration, and contingency fees. So the numbers that we have on here, we just all fell over. So if you want to get to basically this page,
Hey, do you have a copy of that for me?
for the CIP, probably not. You got an extra one for him or no?
Do you want some copies for the audience, so we can follow along?
We gotta go through it. We gotta get it done first, to make sure it's. What we did Okay, well, let's start out with Man. A few years ago, they had gotten a number from, I believe it was Advanced, for 1.563, $1,563 to do Man, and it was set up over 3 years. So what we did was we took that number and we figured 10% increase for each year until we can possibly get it done. And then we added the, and this has to be an engineered project for MLS. So, and the administration fees, so we came in with a, grab your pencils, people, a dollar amount of $2,468,655 for the total. If we have to pay part of that, our share would be $246,000, or figure roughly $250,000 for the town share, if we get the grant to do it. Am I correct?
Yes.
Now what do you got me to sign?
You missed. There's 2 copies.
Oh. I suppose they want 1 copy and we get to keep a copy, huh? Yep. Okay, thank you. So if you're looking at the rest of them, we were looking at, the 3 roads we're looking at for the grants are Man, Galvin, and Stott. Stott we backed up because we have to wait till the bridge is done, and hopefully 97 will be done, and all that good stuff, to where they're not beating it to death, and after we put a new surface on there, if we get a grant. The amount for that, where is that one, Patty?
What are you looking at?
Oh, to resurface and redo 3¼ miles of Stott was $4,221,776. We can't even go for that much, because I think the awards are what, 3.5 million?
You can ask for it.
You can ask
But
for
the
it.
maximum award is gonna be $3.5 million for any municipality on the MLS.
So what I'm hoping for is that we get Man and Galvin.
And if you don't get stuff,
Well, we could probably apply for a portion of it. But we took the, like I said, the numbers from the county, and what we did was, for on Stott, was we took the Man Road project and figured out how much it cost us per lineal foot, and then figured out how many lineal feet we had per Stott, and that's where we got the number from, because we had absolutely nothing to figure it out otherwise. And anybody that's concerned about how many hours that girl is putting in, Saturday and Sunday, Saturday she worked on it all day, and Sunday she was at my house for 6 hours, and we worked on it for 6 hours more, and then she finished it up today. So, because we've had some questions about her hours, naturally. Jerry? Any questions?
No.
Did you want to flag me yet? If we get those, I do think that this is a good plan, the way we've got it put together. Paul, come up here and look.
Look at what?
The numbers,
Are we getting any support from Marshfield on Man?
no. Oh, we're getting support, we're getting a letter to send in with our grant. That's what we'll get. And hopefully, well, the city said they would already give us a letter to, you know, put along with our grant. And then, what's the other one, from Joint Plan, Josh? He's gonna help us out with that too.
City of, this doesn't include cities, just grant money, just townships?
Just the municipalities for this one. They each have their own area, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
They have their different bundle of money that they.
Right.
Okay.
yeah. What I did try to do is I called Spencer for the end of, and they said they are not applying for that, because I thought if we went into it jointly, we'd have a better shot.
Well, isn't that all Marshfield, all the way to 13?
Yes.
Yeah.
Portion of it, isn't it?
No, it's
All of it is?
Yeah, they annexed that in.
From Lincoln.
From Lincoln over,
Yeah.
oh, okay. No wonder he didn't want to.
Yeah.
What was it? I had talked to him. I called so many people, it's unreal. But anyway, Marshfield is gonna be in a different bundle of money, so that's why they wouldn't. I know when I talked to Spencer Power, it was
That would
something
really
different.
help if they would.
It would be nice, but. And I did talk to, what's his face at the city about that also. And he said they had a plan for a different road that they were gonna be applying for. So, man is not gonna be a priority for them. That's the problem.
If it's not a priority, why they put a,
I
what is
know,
it, 2-ton road limit on it, and if it's not a priority?
Why?
I know. But anyway, if we do get man, which I'm hoping we do, our share is gonna be a little less than $250,000. And then we figured out how much we'd be getting for GTA. We wouldn't be real short. And we come up with a 40-some thousand, Patty.
I gotta find out which paper I scribbled that on.
I know I've got all my notes here too, but I don't remember.
For, you're talking for 2021 or 2022?
I'm talking 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
'Cause I think we had figured out what our GTA was gonna be, if everything comes like it's supposed to.
Well, the GTA is already set, so
Okay, that was at what, 190,
so it was all total 198 for the
198.
general transportation aid and your shared revenue.
Okay,
General transportation aid is 155,000 and change, and shared revenue was 40,000 and change.
198,000 is what we figured we would have,
Yep.
so. So we gave 48,000. It ain't bad.
No.
For 2020, you need, 48,000 for that project, and then you need, the 146 that you already have set aside for the bridge. You also need 25,000 for the
Culvert.
Old Plain culverts,
Because you
which
figured
is
we
an
did half.
estimate at this point because we don't have the final cost for that.
Right.
So your total town expense for 2020 is on the second page, 298,1150.
And I think Greasebot called me the other day, I wasn't
This would be
home.
what our town share would be for next year.
He told my wife he was gonna call someone else, so I don't know who he called.
Not me.
And I talked to Jim Griesbach the other day, and he said the prices for the bridge are still the same. So nothing has changed there. 2022 is when they're putting the bridge in. 2022 is when they're putting the bridge in. State is gonna be working on Highway 97, and we discussed Galvin and 97, that corner, and he said they are gonna be doing something with that, but he didn't know exactly what it was. And when he found out, he was gonna let me know. So they are definitely supposed to be addressing this corner down here, so we'll wait and see what happens.
Well, rumor was,
Well, they talked
Roundabout.
turnaround, roundabout, and they've also talked lights too in the past, so I guess it'll be a surprise.
And they talked 6 lanes too.
That'll be a mess if they do that. People are getting better over there, though, it seems like. Would you just have a recent accident?
some of them actually stopped, but all your
But you
other ones
see-
are still passing on the right.
I was gonna say, lately, when I've come through there, they light up, they haven't been passing on the right, the ones that I've seen. Okay, that doesn't mean they're not doing it.
7 o'clock in the morning, I was on my way to work watching them actually happen.
Oh,
I was
okay.
I was in the South Palm Lane, actually watched it happen.
That don't sound like fun. So does anybody have any questions about this?
You know, this is one of the,
Uh-huh.
looking at page 2. So I see in the bottom
Mhm.
line across, the total town portion of the capital improvement plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I see 2020 and 21, 298 and 247, and then in 2022, the jump is quite significant.
Mhm.
Seven, right here, this.
Yeah, I know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
That's because the hard surface on Birch and Drake do not have any grant funding that we're looking into. Those are all town-funded, complete projects.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm getting at is, have we given any thought about how we would fund it?
Well, what it's gonna amount to is, we're looking for this CIP to submit with our grant, because we have to have that. If we get shot down, we're gonna have to redo this whole thing anyway.
We just needed to have something to send in with this grant.
Well, it also,
And
it also
that
says
big
in the
jump had the
CIP that
bridge
you
in there.
review it annually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're reviewing it, and then with the hopes of, okay,
What you could do, Gary, is move those two projects to 2024, because at this point, there's no road project in the CIP for 2024.
right,
Yeah, the bridge is, uncle, no, I'm just.
well, what you gotta keep in mind with too, with the bridge is, we got 120,000
Mhm.
put away already for this, so by the time we get to 2022, well, and it's all variable on what are we gonna get for grants, if we get any, and,
Well, I'm also, my street is listed on here, and by the way, personally, I never have been one who gives a damn whether we pay it or not. In fact, I only want a street that's dedicated.
okay,
So I can speak freely, because I've said it before. But at some point, you may get, 2022 may get here quicker than you think, and we may have to make a decision on Drake or Birch.
right,
And we just need to be having those
right,
things to think about.
yeah.
Which
Right.
one you do,
Well, and then there
or which
might
one you
be,
do that year.
and if we get shot down for the grant, we might be able to move that, one of them up too, so,
Yeah. Well, just trying to educate myself.
this is just proposed,
Sure.
you know, something to shoot for, kinda.
Well, it's the best looking, and maybe I haven't seen some of the previous bid out plans, but the best looking thing that I've seen in a while. It's actually fell
We
out.
did good. We worked our butts off on
I
this.
mean, it looks like somebody tried to think and
Mhm.
work through it, so.
Yep. Well, we got everything to verify our numbers, so.
Good job.
6 hours and 2 bottles of wine.
We didn't drink any White Claw, but it did cost me, what the hell did it cost me for dinner for you and I last night? $65? You should see that girl eat. I had to take her out to dinner.
Schmoly.
Yeah, we ate good.
You should try it sometime. I do need your help on the narrative on that CIP.
For what part of it?
Well, the two CIPs that we started working off of were from, 2016 and 2015, is that right? What was the dates on these things?
I think I've got them in here, Patty.
One was from 2015 to 2019,
And the other one is from-
16 to 21.
I got
Anyway,
20
there's-
oh, that one's yours. Never mind.
They're like 22 and 25 pages long, and the majority of it is possible funding sources. I took all that out because those possible funding sources would change every year, and the other thing we took out was the beginning of it. So ultimately, what we did was we took a 28-page document and got it down to about 6 pages. Just says what the priorities are. So if we went with what the board said at the last meeting, then Mann, Galvin, and Stott are the priorities for next year. At least for the grant application, not for next year's completion. And then Oak Plain is also the culverts, but that's the only culvert that we ever mentioned in any of the CIP, including the narrative of it.
But we'd also be doing culverts on Man, but that will
Well,
be.
and that's listed in there, it's a complete reconstruction to include and address the drainage that's in the
And I
narrative.
got, the culvert's gotta get replaced on Keeman, they're both shot.
Well, and I don't have anything on.
They did the
Keeman
one on the
because
end, but there's one or two between there and 97 yet.
I have no narrative on that CIP for Keeman. If you look at it, there's just a blank line because honestly, I don't even know where Keeman is.
Another one that
Come
we
out of
should have
Belvedere,
on here
and you go
down the
straight,
road is
it's
Dave,
Keeman.
and we don't have that one either.
Come out of Belvedere and go straight, straight across 97, that's Keeman.
So Oakland culverts, stop, all of these need narratives like the rest of us.
Got your brand up?
Do what?
I said you got your brand up?
No, no, got the minutes up. We haven't eliminated this. A lot of. When you with the old ones,
I got them, there you go. Right, you should, Gary. But what we had eliminated was, like this stuff. It's just a list of different ones that are possible, and this stuff, and this, it's all fluff is what it is. Mm-hmm.
You need that now?
This has gotta go in for the grant, so unless you, wanna have a special meeting,
We need to
before
discuss
December sixth.
Not really.
The numbers won't change if you're concerned about approving this. I mean, the numbers won't change. What I need your help with is just an explanation of the project, which is not gonna change based on the numbers.
So you're talking about payment, correct?
Hopefully culvert stuff, that in the draft on the, what, the second page, third page, on the third page. Need the narrative for Oakland culvert, stop bridge, birch, the brushing, ditching, and hard surface grate, and Kingman.
Well, the whole plain is in, there's two big culverts up there that are rusted out. And that they're gonna do next year, we're waiting for the price on that.
Yeah, and it's already a culvert cost share grant, it's already been submitted.
Okay.
Are those 5-footers?
Pat's got the exact diameter.
Has the engineering even come back on those yet?
No, that grant was applied for according to the engineer with a total of TBD.
They were,
But we do have the measurement. I have the measurement on the grant that Pat gave me,
I forget if they were
of the existing anyway.
5 foot or 62 inches.
Yeah, because there's actually 3 culverts there.
I think there's 2 and he wants to put in 3. He wants to put a bigger one in, some type of like a box culvert and 2 smaller overflows. That's all I know about that. On the Keyman, that's the one I want to chip seal that, but there'll be 2 culverts And there's some ditching gonna have to be done there because they just, and when lawns were put in to mow, they weren't put in to drain the water away. Drake, as far as I know, that's all prepped.
Should be all prepped and it's just gonna be blacktopped, correct? There wasn't anything else that needed to be addressed on that road at all, was there? No ditching, no, nothing?
I might have to look at the ditches and
Mhm.
make sure that there's, you know, proper drainage all along
Weren't
there.
there new culverts put in there on Drake?
Yep, that had all the
Right.
culverts.
So we just grading,
Yeah.
I guess, so, I mean, a few spots where, because it's been, what, 2 years, 3 years since it's been done?
Has it been that long?
Came in as chip seal the entire length.
Yep. I think all the culverts were replaced.
Right, but I think it's 2 or 3 years since it was done, so there might be some spots where, you know, settling or whatever, you know, the final grading of the material.
What did we say Drake was? 3.3.5? 3.2?
Probably
By the time we get to it.
three, probably about 3/4, 1/4 of what they wanted to do, and I think it's another
60,900 feet.
Oh, you're looking, I was wondering what that was doing.
And Drake is blacktop, not chip seal.
That'll be blacktop.
Keenan is the only one right now that we're looking at for us. Chip seal, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't qualify for anything like that. We couldn't put that on slab.
And Birch, the hard surface is blacktop, not chip seal.
Right. They can't chip seal that because of the pounding it takes. I mean, they haul manure for 2 days straight there.
Yeah.
And
Well, the
they,
county said no.
and they did beat up the road in front of my place. They must have got off to the edge. Picked up all the blacktop and threw it by the culvert across the road. So I don't have to pick it out of my ditch in the spring. Stab bridge on that.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Because the engineering is, well, it's in the process. And I don't know if they're gonna have it done before the end of the year, or if they're not. I'm assuming no. But, that one is the 26,000 and whatever. And then, in 2022, that's when they're doing the bridge, so. They told me Thursday when I talked to them, 2022. Yeah,
Originally it was 21 that they backed off.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
and we have to go by their schedule. We don't do bridges.
Yeah.
Out of that magnitude.
What else you gonna need, girl?
Just to make it look pretty. Or I should say make it sound pretty.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the CIP as presented with the additional narrative. Does that sound appropriate? Okay. All right. So I'll need a second.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we need a motion to adjourn.
Got it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
You got to show you. have called Don today and asked.
This might,
See, I called Kevin and asked him, who did that? And they did do it. Well, that only goes to a